What's up, guys? We are live. Okay. John Anthony here from masculinedevelopment.com. And I wanted to take some time to answer a very common question. And this question is always some form of, is this alpha or beta? What is the difference between alpha and beta? Is it beta if I pay for the first date? Is it alpha if I do this or do that, right? And fundamentally, the question really comes down to, first off, what are alpha and beta? And second of all, how do you embody them, or which one is best for you to pursue, right? And fundamentally, got my coffee here. Fundamentally, alpha and beta are not actions, they are mindsets. Okay, and this is kind of a mind fuck for a lot of people because, they read all these articles online where, it'll say things like top 5 alpha behaviors, top 5 beta behaviors. And I've written articles like that because they get clicks, people like to read them. So, you want to give people what they want to read, but fundamentally, that's not the entire truth. Okay, so let's say that you're a guy and you want to get a certain girl, right? She's really attractive. Maybe you met her in school or in work, whatever, and you're trying to figure out, how do I get this girl? What do I do? Like, how do I get her number? What's the plan here? And so somehow you manage to get her number, and you're incredibly anxious the entire time because in your mind, it all comes back to the mind, she's way out of your league. She is the hottest girl in the entire workplace, and there's guys there that earn more money than you, that are more confident than you, and you're telling yourself, why the fuck am I good enough for her, right? So everything, that's your mindset, and that mindset is a beta mindset, okay? So everything that you do is going to be coming out as a result of that mindset. When she texts you, you could be doing something extremely important where you shouldn't break your focus, but you're going to be checking your phone every 3 minutes to see if she texted you because you think, oh, she texted me. It's so valuable because I don't deserve this and it's so rare. I need to answer right now to secure the date to try and make this happen, right? Fundamentally, your mindset is beta. Now, let's contrast that. And because of that, obviously, she's not going to be interested in you. Now, let's contrast that with someone who has an alpha mindset, right? So somebody with an alpha mindset, say that they actually do the exact same action that I mentioned before, which is texting her back quickly. Well, I've done that. Is that bad? Is that beta? It depends on the mindset that it comes from. Alpha and beta are mindsets, not actions, right? So, there's been times where, I'll be focusing on work and I don't check my phone for a long period of time. And then I see my phone. And then as I'm going through it and checking it, a girl messages me, her message pops up, the notification, and I reply right back, right? Is that beta? No, it's not beta because it's all about the mindset that you're coming from. It's about the feeling that you're having, right? So one of the best pieces of advice that I got from one of my mentors in the game, suspenseful coffee sip, was that being alpha or beta, being seeking validation, being insecure, etc. All these different things that we talk about in game, they're not actions, they're feelings, they're mindsets, they're belief systems. It goes deeper than just the surface level. And that's why in a lot of my content and products, I try to talk about things from this perspective. And to the newbie who's first getting into game, this is infuriating because they don't want some deep course on mindset change. They don't want to change who they fundamentally are. They just want to learn some magic pickup line or phrase to say and just get the girl like that. But that's not how it works, okay? If you want to get good with women and with life in general, you have to change your mindset. And fundamentally, if you're not killing it at life right now, if you're not succeeding in life, you don't have an alpha mindset, okay? So what is alpha fundamentally and what is beta fundamentally? Well, there's a lot of different definitions that we can use, and there's a lot of different ways to look at this, because it's sort of like asking what is fat and what is, skinny, right? Or what is healthy and what is unhealthy. And there's a lot of different shades of gray in between. There's a lot of different areas of speculation, but fundamentally what it comes down to is a beta male doesn't view himself as worthy to kill it at life. And an alpha male says, why not me? And he kills it in life. That's fundamentally the major difference between an alpha male and a beta male mindset, right? So let's take some examples to contrast this. A beta male is blown about by circumstances because he doesn't have a firm purpose. An alpha male has a firm purpose, and so he knows what he wants. He's proactive versus reactive, right? All comes back to life, all comes back to the mindset. A beta male, something happens and he reacts to it. An alpha male is proactively charting a course throughout his own life, right? That's why it's very difficult oftentimes to find an alpha male who is employed by someone else or a beta male who's self-employed, because typically the guys that have the alpha male mindset are going to basically become self-employed because they don't want to work for someone else. There's limits, there's caps to that. They want to do their own thing and be their own man. And again, fundamentally, it comes down to the mindset, right? Women are attracted to your mindset more than anything else. Your belief system, they're attracted to the deep inner beliefs that you have, the deep emotional, patterns and belief systems that you have. And the way they determine these things is through your actions. And so what's funny is, even if I gave a list of 100 alpha actions to a newbie, he would betray himself, right? So, this is what happens to anyone who first gets in the game. Happened to me, happens to all of us. What happens is, again, you read some article on top 5 alpha male behaviors or, signs that your boyfriend is a beta male or whatever, written by like Cosmo or something, some trash. And some guy reads it and he says, oh no, I've been doing all these things wrong, right? I should be waiting to text the girl back. I should be, acting confident. I should, not pay for the first date, whatever it is, right? And so he tries these things out, right? Say that he goes on a first date, right? And he read somewhere online that you shouldn't pay for the first date. And so he tries to act smooth. He tries to act alpha, right? But his mindset betrays him, because he hasn't fully integrated the alpha male beliefs into his personality just yet. So, maybe on first impression, girls are impressed with this guy, right? The girl that he goes on a date with is impressed with him because, it's easy to give a fake personality off for a few minutes. But a few minutes into the date, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever it is, I don't care how long it takes, she's going to find out. Whatever length of time it is, 10 minutes, say, into the date, she is going to start to notice that you're not congruent. You're putting on this alpha male front, but then the things that you say and the way that you say them and the emotions you give off are a little bit incongruent, right? So maybe, you say something that you think is just funny and it offends her. And you're going to be very quick to say, oh no, I'm sorry, and apologize and supplicate, right? So in her mind, she's going to see he's acting alpha, but then he has these little slips of beta male behavior, like supplication, right? Acting really, oh, I'm so sorry that I said that it offended you. I didn't mean that. And feeling like your validation and your sense of self-worth is dependent on what she thinks of you, right? So she's going to start to notice subconsciously, she'll put it together that, oh, okay, this guy's trying to act like an alpha male. He's trying to act cool, trying to act confident. He isn't actually these things, right? And then contrast that with, say you go on a date with a girl. I actually pay for first dates fairly frequently, not always, but if I get the sense that I actually might like the girl, I'll pay for the first date. Usually it's something cheap like coffee or whatever. And sometimes guys are shocked by this because they say, oh, everything in the manosphere has taught me to never pay for the first date, never pay for the first date. And you have to understand that it's all about, again, where it comes from, right? For me, the way I see it is, it's not a big deal. It's like $2 of coffee. Like, that's nothing. I don't care. And when I buy it for her, again, because I have the alpha male mindset, the alpha male belief system, I'm not expecting anything back from her. That's a big mistake that guys make is they buy something for a girl and then they're like, okay, I bought it for you. Do you want to fuck me now? Do you want to have sex now? Do you want to go home with me now? And that's just such a repugnant turnoff because, again, it's a beta male mindset. It says, I exchange resources for sex because I'm not good enough as I am, is the fundamental belief there. If you feel like you have to exchange money or resources for sex, then you don't feel like you're good enough as you are. An alpha male mindset is, I get sex by being who I am because women are attracted to me as I am, and I'm cool as I am, right? And it's amazing how when you start to integrate these beliefs into who you are, which I talk about more in my courses, you'll start to notice that everything falls into place. When you just adopt this alpha male mindset and you put yourself first, you discover who you are, you understand your core reason for living life, your core purpose, you get on your path as a man, women will naturally fall into place and become attracted to you. Because again, it's not the actions, it is the mindset. So let's compare and contrast a few more examples to really drive this point home, okay? It's been a long day. So say that you're on a date with a girl again, and I don't know, maybe you try to I don't know, impress her by bragging about something because you heard online that looks, money, and status are what are important, right? Looks, money, and status, LMS, right? That's what's important to get girls. And so you start, you go on to this date and you start, casually showing off your Rolex watch. You start, trying to brag about the job you have. Okay, most guys think that'll attract her. The only type of girl that will attract is a fucking gold digger, and you should run, okay? What's actually going to happen with most girls in that situation is they will look past the words you're saying and intuitively sense the underlying mindset and emotional belief system that it's coming from. And what does that say when you feel like you have to brag about your resources in order to get a girl? What it says is that you don't feel like you're fun enough, confident enough, good enough as you are just by yourself to attract women. And I know that this is a major mind fuck because our entire society is based around the idea that you need money to get girls, you need looks to get girls, you need status to get girls. And while these things are true to an extent, particularly more so for longer term relationships, when it comes to your mindset, you actually don't need anything else aside an alpha male mindset to develop attraction with women, right? So what are some characteristics of an alpha male mindset? Again, being confident in who you are, not feeling the need to brag or supplicate or, change who you are for someone else, right? Being decisive, knowing what you want. That comes down to having core values, knowing what you want, and just taking action to get it, period, right? If, you're with a girl and you haven't decided where to go yet for your first date, don't do this bullshit where it's like, going back and forth and where she's like, where do you want to go? What do you want to do, right? And you're like, oh, I don't know. What do you think? And then you do this back. No. Okay, don't do that. Don't do that fucking bullshit. Instead, say, hey, let's meet here at this time, right? Decisiveness. This is what I want. Fundamentally, masculine energy knows where it's going. It has a direction. It has a purpose. Feminine energy is more receptive and it draws state from the environment, right? That's why you see, women like to dance more than men do typically, because that's drawing state from the music, the things that are, it's drawing state from the environment, right? Masculine energy draws state from within. And fundamentally, funny enough, most men nowadays are lacking in masculine energy. That's a point in and of itself. But the main point of this video, if you get anything from this video, it's that alpha and beta are not actions, they are mindsets. Okay, whether you do something is going to come back to the mindset it's coming from. So whenever you have the question, is this alpha, is this beta, look into yourself and see how you feel. And if you feel insecure or like you need something from someone, need some validation, a little bit afraid, whatever it is, that's usually a good sign that what you're doing is beta. If you're looking into yourself and you feel confidence, you feel comfortable with what you're doing, you might feel a little bit nervous if you're on a date with a pretty girl, but you feel like fundamentally you're not doing anything that is out of line with your core values. You feel like you're confident in who you are, you're not trying to impress her. That is a good sign that what you're doing is alpha. Okay, so the answer, more often than not, is to look within and actually genuinely feel what you're feeling. We're so out of touch with our bodies nowadays in modern society that this is a revolutionary concept in and of itself. But look within yourself, feel what you're feeling, and then that will give you the answer. Okay? Done.